Tuesday will bring the first big test at the ballot for abortion rights, and that's since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, it could be a bellwether looking ahead to November for whether the issue of abortion access has the power to turn voters out to the polls in the midterms. NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns joins us now from Overland Park, Kansas. Dasha, walk us through exactly what is on the ballot there and the potential implications here.
Hey, Vicki and Morgan. Well, I'm standing in front of one of just 5 abortion clinics in the entire state of Kansas, and it's recently become one of just a few in the entire region since many of the surrounding states here enacted all-out bans or significant restrictions after the fall of Roe v. Wade, which is why the stakes are just so high as Kansans become the first in the nation to vote on abortion.
What brings us here today is we're fighting for a constitutional right here in Kansas to the right for abortion.
Boots on the ground, let's do this.
The battle over abortion rights spilling into the streets in Kansas as the state becomes the first to put abortion on the ballot since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
What's at stake here?
The right to choose.
How many doors do you think you've each knocked on?
Probably a few thousand each.
The proposed Value Them Both amendment targets a 2019 decision by the state Supreme Court that ruled the state's constitution protects the right to an abortion. A no vote would leave abortion access as is in the state.
What's your plan for voting? To vote now on Tuesday.
While a yes vote would eliminate that constitutional protection.
You know, if you plan to support the amendment, knowing what you know?
Yeah, there's 5 of us living here. We're all in support.
Opening the door for more restrictive legislation and, as some activists fear, a total ban. Right now, Kansas has 5 abortion clinics serving the entire state and several other states in the region who've recently restricted abortion.
The major issue for us here is that our surrounding states all lost access when the Dobbs decision came down. So we've had twice the number of patients calling.
That access at the heart of the fight over this amendment.
If we lose the constitutional protection in Kansas, we know what's coming.
Those on the no side feel they're protecting the right of millions to access abortion care.
If the clinics that are here in Kansas shut down, where could people go to seek care?
We're going to be sending patients to Denver, to New Mexico, to Illinois.
Just pray that the Lord will give you glimpses of the good that he's accomplishing through you.
While those on the yes side see themselves as protecting their state from becoming a destination for those seeking abortions.
We just want the voices of Kansans to be able to decide our own future.
But does this amendment pave the pathway to a ban potentially?
It paves the way for future conversations to be able to happen.
You're going to win on Tuesday.
The Value Them Both coalition says this is not an attempt to ban abortion.
We are not banning abortion.
State Rep Susan Humphreys recently took part in a roundtable hosted by the Value Them Both coalition and is a member of the heavily conservative Kansas state legislature.
We're focused on August 2nd. The goal is to vote yes and have that pass and have the people of Kansas speak loudly to say there's not a fundamental right to abortion in the Kansas Constitution. And then we'll see what happens. I honestly don't know. And again, I haven't talked to people about it. I don't really know what's next.
Why haven't you talked to people about it? It's a huge issue.
Because we're really focused on August 2nd.
They say this is about protecting regulations that are already on the books in the state. But the Vote No side, led by the group Kansans for Constitutional Freedom, points to a slew of regulations in place right now on abortions in Kansas, like not allowing abortions after 22 weeks, a 24-hour waiting period, and parental consent for minors.
The folks on the yes side say this is not a ban. This is just to say that it's unconstitutional so that they can protect the regulations around abortion. What do you say to that?
Abortion is already heavily regulated in Kansas, and that will continue to be the case. What they want to do is open the door to a total ban. We believe that women ought to have care, reproductive health care in their home communities, because it's exactly what we're fighting for in Kansas.
The vote will likely be close. The Pew Research Center finding Kansans are almost evenly split on whether abortion should be legal in all or most cases. While the Kansas Speaks survey found 60% of residents oppose making the procedure completely illegal in the state. On August 2nd, the eyes of the nation will be watching Kansas as the first big bellwether on abortion and what happens when the people decide.
Dasha, it was interesting hearing that woman say, no, we're focused on August. That is our primary concern. So I guess my question to you is, why is this on the August ballot instead of really part of the general election? I mean, what could this Kansas vote tell us about really other states that have abortion on the ballot in November?
Yeah, the fact that this is on the primary ballot and not on the general ballot has received some criticism. Folks that are fighting for abortion rights in the state here say it puts them at a disadvantage because the voters that come out to primaries tend to be more conservative. It's also usually a smaller voter pool than in the general election. But the folks in favor of this amendment say it's better to have it on the primary ballot because that way it doesn't get lost in the fray of the general election. But this is certainly going to be a bellwether telling us if this is an issue voters turn out for. And since this is a pretty conservative state, if it's a close vote, and especially if the no vote does win, that could say a lot about the strength of the abortion rights movement looking ahead to the midterms, guys.
Yeah, really fascinating. Dasha Burns, thank you for that reporting. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.